Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Apex Investor, our daily update for Wednesday, March the 24th. Today it's all about GameStop and AMC. So let's take a look at what happened today. Today, GameStop went down to 118.62 and it was as high as 166.97. So it dropped significantly today. The volume was about half of the average, and we can see that it pretty much traded sideways for most of the day, short laddering, and then they finally decided to short it like big time. And this is the dip. This is the dip. Looking at the after hours action, uh, GameStop was between, I saw it as low as 115, but it bounced right back up to 129. So this is being heavily manipulated. These are all fake stocks, fake shares, I should say, not fake stocks. These are fake shares being passed around from the short sellers to each other, and they keep pushing the fear, uncertainty, and doubt narrative. The shills are brigading double time, harder than ever before. They know that this is going to explode, and so they're just pushing with everything they can. And you know what, to no avail, because what we're going to do tomorrow is buy some more. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to buy some more of this stock. Uh, it's not deterring me. It's only strengthening our resolve, because we've been through this dance before. We've seen it spike, and then it went down to very low, levels of $35 to 50, 60, and then bounce right back up. So if they drop it again, it's going to bounce right back up, probably even higher, because that was just a little preview, and now we're starting to see, okay, this show is really going to get on the road. Uh, so I'm not deterred at all. I know the media is pushing the narrative that GameStop it's time to leave, and that's how you know that it's time to just strengthen our resolve and further just hold. Uh, they're trying to play mind games with us because we know this price is psychological. Again, this could go down to 100, could go down to 60, go down. It could go down to 35, but it doesn't matter because it's only going to go right back up to even higher heights. Because eventually, the time will come where GameStop will uh, announce we're taking back all our shares. We're gonna call back the shares. We're going to do that, or maybe announce a stock split. They could announce a dividend. Any one of those things will take the short sellers out, and they'll be left with nothing, and we'll be left with, you know, going to the moon basically. So let's look at AMC, GME, and AMC apes. We're all brothers. We're on the same boat, and we can see the same thing happened to the AMC. Uh, their volume was significantly less, and they were at 893. So they dropped a lot as well, pretty much in proportion to what GME did, and they're as high as 1121. But again, they closed at $9, which I said anything below 10 is a buy, and this is certainly a buy. So is GameStop. So it's either or, whichever one you want to jump into. They're both safe bets. These are the only stocks that are safe from a stock market crash. That's very important to remember. After hours, it's up. So you can see these are uh, the confidence in these are very strong, regardless of what the press is saying. They can say whatever they want, but we know this is happening because we have the facts. They only have fake media. They have fake narrative. They have all the fake facts. They're pushing a narrative that that we're dangerous and the short sellers are the ones that are the heroes. Doesn't make any sense at all. And to be honest, I saw this coming from a mile away. I could see it was either going to go up, have their short squeeze or gamma squeeze, or it was going to go down and be shorted to oblivion. So, I was expecting the worst, but hoping for the best. And well, the worst happened. And what could be a lot worse, but we're only at the level we're at, and it's only going to go up from here, or it could go down a little bit more. But to be honest, it's only going to go up in the long run. When you zoom out, you can see we're still at a high. we're still on the green. Okay, a couple headlines here. Ryan Cohen aims to turn GameStop into the Chewy of gaming. The RSI for GME has not been this low since Ryan Cohen tweeted frog ice cream, and the price was $45 back then. Okay, according to this post, the DTCC rule was updated. Now the hedge funds need to report their positions every day, and this could be a large catalyst. This is amazing news. If you think it's going to change the way they play, you're right. They're going to play even harder because you'll know their position. So imagine how much buying will happen if we find out the shares shorted is actually 200% or more. I know I will, so buckle up. Okay, so let's look at the image and see if it actually says that in the image. So it says here the requirement the participant must confirm its activity statements monthly. Uh, it eliminated that rule, so they don't have to do that anymore monthly, but instead to perform a daily reconciliation. So they do have to report daily. So that is big. And to think it would be public is a little foolish, but they will be reporting it to the DTCC. Okay. Okay, we have a big development here with GameStop's board of directors. It says here that eight members of GameStop's board of directors will leave the company after the annual meeting in June. So that's a significant change because they are simply uh, kicking out these pretty much getting the old guard out and putting in the new guard, installing the new blood. So we have planned exits include Reggie Fields MA. That's interesting. Was appointed to the board last March. Kathy Vrebeck uh, and others. But I really feel Reggie should have been the guy reading the Q4, the conference call. He would have been a great asset in that respect. So that's all for that interesting post there. There's about 5 more in Wall Street Bets. See if they're worth reading. Okay, and to make sense of this news, this is not an uncommon practice when new leadership comes aboard. I've been through major corporate restructurings, and it always starts off at the top with the directors and the executives. It's not alarming to see leadership turnover like this. Once the executive team is in place, they'll start cutting other fat across the board. So that's interesting there. And Domo Capital tweeted about this, saying, "This is amazing what is happening with GME. It may be one of the first and last times in history a company has been completely transformed without a proxy battle." And it says here, "This is incredible. Maybe Elon Musk and Chamath should join Ryan Cohen on the board of directors." And that's an interesting, that would be quite amazing if that happened. And this is good news all around. My feeling from this is that Ryan Cohen is just moving his plan ahead. Okay. We expect additional changes to our board. Okay, so that was mentioned in the report. So moving on. Okay, we have a report that the suits just raised the price target from $15 to $175. So that's very significant. So that's over 10 times the value of their initial price target. So they adjusted that, and that's a good thing they did. That will keep that would bring some stability to the stock. Okay, there are very huge developments, massive developments for AMC. It says here that 96% of held AMC shares have been bought and held, with only 4% being sold. Don't fall victim to market manipulation. Look at facts. Trust in the facts. No one, literally no one, is selling. When the price dips, it's solely hedge funds manipulating the stock price. And I believe that applies equally for GameStop as well. They keep rolling with the posts here in AMC stock. It says here 93% are buying and the price still drops. Doesn't make any sense. And they're right. They're very right here on AMC stock subreddit. They're coming up with a lot of bombs here. Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. It says Citadel and others have over uh, 2 billion shares of AMC in the dark pool. This is related to the OTC, over the counter trading. That's over 4 times the amount of actual shares. That's not including the fake shares in public. Whatever your floor was, multiply it by 4. Most importantly, hold. So we can see the data there. Yeah, that is it's amazing. So I went ahead, did the math on all shares included in the screenshot. It shows that as of March 1st, there were 2 billion shares traded over the counter. If every share counts as either a buy or a sell, you have to divide that to find there were over a billion individual shares that were bought and sold. You'd also divide the total trades being 7 million over 7 million to find the amount of trades, the transaction from one hedge fund to another, that number being 3.6 million. The number of individual shares bought and sold divided by that number is 281, the average size of each trade. They've been able to hide this data for so long by pretending that each of those transactions could have been from one of us. Larger trades at this volume would have set off some alarms. Yep, we would have known much earlier. I think it's safe to assume that with updated info, we'd find that they sold at even higher quantities when stimmies were used to slow the price increase. They've been trying to stop the squeeze for weeks, and they knew they could attack this week to drop the price. So thank you for your explanation. I agree. This needs to be upvoted. So yeah, you know what? AMC is looking very good right now. 2 billion. Wow, that is amazing. We have a lot of posts to read on AMC stock. We have maybe 6 more. Another tweet from Joshua James. Bingo, bango. I slipped and fell and found those dark pool shares. Guess who's traded over a billion shares of AMC in the dark pool? Step right up and grab your prize, Citadel. Update when I get more info on what I just found. Could be nothing. So, if true, when AMC squeezes, it's going to crash the stock market. Price per share would be astronomical. Maybe then the SEC will do their job. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, like I said, this poster echoes my sentiments. They can get margin called. The shorts will get margin called. Cover shorts when the interest is too high. Share recount and can trigger buybacks, but who knows what else? So buy and hold. They failed to stop GameStop from squeezing after 5 months, so why can't AMC do the same? So yeah. Okay, next post. Okay, one poster here says the AMC squeeze will surpass older brother GME. It's a long DD for every kind. In-depth technical analysis, not financial advice. And this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial expert either. So whatever I say here is just my opinion, and I cannot be held liable for whatever happens. If you gain or lose, it's up. Those are up to you. So basically, his argument is GME shot up to heights it's never been to before, whereas AMC only went up to $16-20. But historically, if you look at the historical chart, AMC has been to $30 plus, and that's true. And looking at the direction the company is going and the outlook for movie theaters, it's actually going to be a lot better in the future. $20 is very, uh, very likely, highly likely. I'd say 99% likely that it will get to $20. So he's right in saying that AMC is a good bet. It is a good stock. Okay, moving on to the next. Okay, so just to reiterate, this post is saying the same thing. Citadel and friends are trading through dark pools, 2 billion in volume. Apes, please reshare this post. GameStop has 525 million shares being traded in the dark pool. This artificially lowers the price when no one is actually selling. This is so corrupt. But anyway, they're going to get what's coming to them, and AMC will get what's coming to it, and the stock will skyrocket. It's going to be quite amazing to see. So I'm going to buy some AMC tomorrow, that's for sure. The last one from Joshua here. It says they have been loaned 63 million shares to short with that they have yet to cover. Trust in the data. Don't be the dummy who ignores the facts. and allow them to manipulate you. They are hoping some are dumb enough to act on emotions instead of facts. And that's what happened today. They want us to act on our emotions and sell the stock at really cheap prices when it's worth thousands, both of them, AMC and GME. Okay, so yeah, this is a good post. This experience has made me get in touch with my fear and anxiety and how to control it. And the first time it happened, there was some fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This time, these are good stocks, and they went down, but they went up, and they can't fool us again. They're not going to fool us a second time. So all in all, those were massive developments for AMC. I'm wondering if GME will have similar news. So the story with the GME today is that many index ETFs were shorted in order to push GME down and give the MSM news narrative. So that's why it went down. They were shorting GME to manipulate it and bring it down, even though there was very little volume. There's so much at GME. I thought AMC had it all. GME has a ton of new posts. It's saying here, why am I happy we're tanking? Because we knew this would happen, and this is playing out exactly as we predicted. So the tank comes before the rocket, and he's right. All right, let's. Okay, so this post is saying the VWAP volume weighted adjusted price uh, is at 140, I believe. Yeah, $140 plus. So that means that this stock, GME, is way undervalued right now. Okay, this post says when a stock price plummets, when it drops on lower than expected volume, this is the most obvious indicator of a short ladder attack. This is exactly what we are seeing the last few days with GME. If the price drop was associated with high volume, then this would be a real price drop indicator. It wouldn't be fake because the only way a stock price drops in such a large quantity or a large value without short laddering is when the selling pressure has increased by volume of sales exceeding the buys. This is not what's happening with GME at all. So it's a high risk play for hedge funds to do this because they are banking, they're betting on retail panic selling to realize the price drop. But if it doesn't happen, then they're just tightening the coil on the short squeeze. If everyone holds, the price will return and exceed the real demand price because synthetic shorting is a zero sum game. It doesn't do anything. It's fakery. All we need to do is hold. Uh, don't fall for their tricks. That's about it. Okay, that's a good post. Okay, here's a big development. One of the apes has a Bloomberg terminal, so things just got real. We'll see what he posts. I wish there was a summary, but there wasn't anything to summarize what he posted. Okay. Some people are saying this is what Occupy Wall Street should have been, and I agree with that. Hit them hard where it counts. Okay, GameStop has a new shirt called Space Mission from GeekNet, and it's a picture of a cat in an astronaut suit, and it looks like it's either on the moon or in space, but that is not even subtle. That's just saying, yep, DFV going to the moon. Okay, this post is just really real. Shorts have to cover eventually. The price literally does not matter in the meantime. Some of you seem to be under the impression the price going down is bad. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be June, but eventually, no matter what, the shorts have to cover, period. Until then, low, high, whatever. The stock price does not matter. Hedge funds can push the price down as much as they want. It does not make the squeeze any less likely as long as we continue to hold. Too long, then read lower price. I mean, it's not that long. Lower price does not stop the squeeze. Hold and or buy more and stop thinking the price means anything. And we saw that just a couple weeks ago, 2 3 weeks ago, that the price was down and it just squeezed because it just they couldn't take it anymore. It couldn't handle all the pressure, the buying pressure. Okay, so next one. We have about 10 left. This post is reiterating the same thing we saw in AMC, that 525 million shares are shorted. So AMC is being shorted massively. GameStop, same story. All right, moving along. Okay, they just tripled the borrow fee. That is significant. That's huge news. Okay, as these tabs are loading, I just want to say how proud I am of this community, Wall Street Bets, of correctly identifying the two stocks to be in to invest in. GME and AMC are the two stocks that have led this movement, and they're going to skyrocket and do something historic that we've never seen before in the stock market. So, I mean, I'm very proud of that fact, and this will become a reality very soon. It's going to repeat what happened in January and make that pale in comparison. So that's my thought there. Okay, this poster is saying 120 was the target and is the lowest point for this stock. That's the floor, is what they're saying. So we'll move on. Okay, actually, you know what? They weren't saying that was the floor. They're saying 120 was a break point. So that was the target that they had set for GME to drop to today. Okay, this looks like a very important post. This is a breakdown of the SEC legal speak from a fellow lawyer ape. So this is the summary. SEC filings are legally binding documents, and the information within can be used against companies in court proceedings. GME has no obligation to include any information about anything after their fiscal year, January 31, 2021, unless it's a subsequent event. To my knowledge, unless someone proves me wrong, speculating on a potential squeeze that may or may not happen in the future does not fall under this category. GME confirmed that as of January 31, the stock was shorted over 100%. GameStop included legally binding information after January 31, specifically about its stock, price volatility, and the short squeeze. GameStop is basically saying they are not responsible for any potential short squeezes that may or may not occur. GameStop is not confirming that a short squeeze will happen because no one can predict the future. They're just saying it's a possibility. GameStop didn't have to do this, and that's a very important point. It's interesting that they did it. I'm almost 100% positive their lawyers advised against including any post fiscal information because if I was GameStop's lawyer, this is what I would have advised to them in order to limit GameStop's liability. But the fact it's included is kind of a big deal. Why did they do this? Who knows? But this ape thinks it's to let everyone know what's going on and to let everyone know they are also aware of what is going on. And that's what I was saying yesterday. Update. I also like this theory because it expands on my initial theory of why GameStop wants us to know that they know what's going on. And this is not financial advice. So let me just scroll to the bottom and see. So there is a lot here. This is quite a long post. Again, I like his summary there. Okay, so we're going to close that. And we have a total of 3 or 4 left. Okay, another lawyer chimed in on this, saying the inclusion of language defining a short squeeze is a risk management and preemptive litigation decision. So GameStop is simply avoiding the possibility of someone, either investors or entities, claiming that any of GameStop's future news releases were intentionally procured to induce the squeeze to happen if and when it happens. So they ensured their ability to continue releasing public statements by limiting its legal risks. So this is good for all of us holding because GameStop no longer has to worry about withholding important updates about the company's progress. So that's very good. That's a good post too. Okay, so this post goes to say that institutional ownership of XRT, an ETF that contains GME, is at 277%, and shorting is not free. There's a lot of interest to be paid. Okay, so there are developments bubbling that a shareholders meeting, the annual shareholder meeting for GameStop, may take place in June. It's not confirmed, but if that happens, they may recall shares. So that might make the stock explode. So I'm just going to let this video load and see what this person is saying. the ultimate final DD. We don't need nothing more. I should start with this. Every DD should start with this video. And this is Michael Pachter, a managing director at Wedbush Securities that created and manages the ETF Gamer, GAMR, which runs its portfolio as its biggest holding GME stock. It holds 164,900 GME shares. And he's talking for the first time to the MSM. And he talks about real stuff about the Genius DFV. After everyone on MSM said Keith Gill, aka DFV, aka Roaring Kitty, is crazy. There's nothing to see here. Finally, someone in a powerful position is going to the MSM announcing that Roaring Kitty was and is still right about everything. So it says Wedbush are in with the shorters. They're trying to help the shorters to crush their own ETF. Wow, actually, that's a really good. That's a very good video. He just admitted that the shorts are shooting themselves in the foot. Maybe more than the foot, but is amazing. This squeeze is happening, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to close it there. Thank you very much for your time. Please like, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell for Apex Investor. Thank you very much for your support again. We'll see you tomorrow for a daily update. Apex Investor signing out. GME, AMC, apes to the moon.